Physics class 11 chapter 8 gravitation. In the last class we have studied universal law of gravitation. Today we shall study the gravitational constant. But before we start something learning about gravitational constant, we shall define two simple rules. Okay, two simple laws which will be useful for our further studies. The first one is the force of attraction between a hollow spherical shell of uniform density and a point mass situated outside is just as if the entire mass of the shell is concentrated at the center of the shell. Now suppose there is a shell, this is the shell of mass capital M. There is a point mass outside the shell. Okay, this is a hollow shell, its mass is capital M, and there is another point mass which is outside it, that I take as here M. Then we can say that the force, the attractive force on this point mass will be equal to as if the hollow mass, all this mass of the shell is not concentrated here, but it is concentrated at the center of the hollow sphere. Okay, so that is the first rule, that the attractive force is as if from the center the force is attractive force is exerted on the point mass M which is outside. Okay, so that is the first rule. And the second rule is the forces of attraction due to hollow spherical shell of uniform density on a point mass situated inside it is 0. Now here the point mass was outside, but suppose the point mass is inside the spherical shell. If it is inside the spherical shell, then the attractive force is 0. Okay, if it is outside the spherical shell, then the attractive force is as if all this mass is concentrated at the center of the shell. And if the mass is inside this point mass, you can see the red dot, this is point mass inside the shell of capital mass M, then the attractive force is 0. So these are the two simple rules we need for our further studies. So now we shall start the gravitational constant. The value of G was first determined by English scientist Henry Cavendish in 1798. So the value of the gravitational constant capital G, okay, which comes in the gravitational force, right? That value was determined by the English scientist by name Henry Cavendish in 1798. Okay, so he did the experiment and found the value of G. That was the first done. Okay, the apparatus used by him is schematically shown in the figure, and what the apparatus means, the instrument he used. Okay, how he determined, that figure is shown here. Okay, so in this what he did is, the bar AB has two small lead sphere of mass small m attached at its end. So he took a bar of length capital L. The bar is AB. Okay, and at these two ends he attached small lead sphere. This you can see the red dots. Okay, and the mass of this was equal. He took mass m. Okay, we have taken as mass m. The bar is suspended from a rigid support by a fine wire, and he suspended this bar AB by a fine wire. Okay, the wire, and it was fixed at a rigid support. Okay, the wire is with the rigid support, and he suspended the bar connected with this wire to the rigid support. Two large lead spheres of mass capital M are brought closer to the smaller ones on opposite sides as shown. So you can see here that I have drawn here S1 and S2. Okay, so two large spheres of lead are brought closer to the small spheres A and B. Okay, at A and B. Now, but they are brought in opposite side. So S1 is brought here, then S2 is brought in the opposite side. Or if S1 is brought here, then the S2 is brought towards the other side. Okay, so in the opposite side they had brought. So when you bring the larger sphere closer to the smaller sphere and this side, then we know that there will be attractive force, right? Because of the universal law of gravitation, there will be attractive force between the spheres. The sphere at A and S1, and here at B and S2. The big sphere attract the nearby small spheres by equal and opposite force. So as I say that gravitational attractive force is there, therefore they will attract each other with equal and opposite force. There is no net force on the bar but only torque. Now here there is no net force, okay, there is no translational motion, there is only a torque, so it will try to rotate, okay. So there is only no net force but there is only torque. Due to this torque, the suspended wire gets twisted till such time as a restoring torque of the wire equals the gravitational torque. So because of the torque, the suspended wire, okay, this wire will get twisted, okay, because of there is a torque, right? Because you see this one is attracted towards this one is attracted towards this, though the bar is which is like that, it will move, okay, the bar will not remain steady, it will try to move. So it will try to move, that means what happens, the wire also will get twisted. And how much it will get twisted? It will get twisted till the restoring torque of the wire equals the gravitational torque, okay. So till the two torques are equal, it will have the twisting. If theta is the angle of twist, the restoring torque is proportional to theta equals to tau theta. Now if suppose theta is the angle of the twist, okay, it is twisting, right? So that is the angle we consider as theta. Then the restoring torque is proportional to theta, therefore it equals to tau into theta, okay. If D is the separation between center of big and its neighboring smaller sphere, then gravitational force is equal to F equal to G into M divided by D square. M is the mass of the larger sphere and small m is the mass of the smaller sphere, and D is the distance between the centers of the two masses, okay. You can see here, this is the sphere, small sphere at A, and this is S1, right, the larger sphere. So suppose there is attractive force, so there is a displacement, so this distance between these two, there is no because of attraction force, but there is a distance between this center of this A and center of S1, the distance is D, the distance is D here, and the same distance you take as here D. So there is attractive force, and that is given by the gravitational force, G is equal to F is equal to G M by D square, right. So that is by using the gravitational force. If L is the length of bar AB, okay, I already mentioned that the length of the bar is capital L. Then torque due to F is FL. Now see, we know that the torque is given as the force into the perpendicular distance between them. So here force is F and the perpendicular distance, that is the length of the bar, is capital L. So the torque will be FL equal to G M by D square into this L. At equilibrium, this FL and this tau theta will be equal, okay. At equilibrium they both will be same, so we can say FL equal to tau theta. FL value, place this value, G M by D square into L equal to tau theta. Now if you observe theta, then it will enable us to calculate G from this equation, okay, by writing the values of theta, observing the values of theta, noting down the values, by doing the experiment the values of theta, then it will help you to find out the value of G using this equation. So observations of theta enables one to calculate G from this equation, from the above equation, this equation. The currently accepted value of G is G equal to 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter per kilogram square. So we'll keep this much for today. Thank you very much.